Podcasting in this economy. James, do you have a unique musical opinion that you reckon only you have? Isn't just slagging stuff off, but like you're like, this is quite specifically what I reckon. For the audio listener, James is leaning in.
I think Muse stole all their shit from Radiohead.
Yes. Do you know what they combined it with though, which is really confusing?
There's
three.
Mormonism.
It's the.
Were they Mormons? Are Muse Mormons? Oh shit! That's round 2. Spoilt.
Can we get some merch? Our Muse Mormons. No, it's Radiohead mixed with Rage Against the Machine and Queen, basically. And if you put all of that together, you get slightly irritating Devon-based operatic rock.
Can I tell you something? And this is my least popular opinion.
Yeah.
And it might be because of my political beliefs. I fucking hate Queen.
Oh, I know. I think about the conversation that we had with you and your partner where you just kept on slagging off Queen for like, I was like, mentioned Queen in one sentence and you and your partner basically just wouldn't stop slagging them off for like 10 minutes. I think about it a lot. But and your partner specifically have, my God, you just spat so vehemently, have very differing music opinions and express it in very different ways.
Well, we have like lots of Venn diagrams, but we veer off in... I think my thing is you're a lot more musical than I am in terms that you consume music more. Whereas for me, music is a thing that I will have on while I do stuff like running. Music is like a bit of a tool.
No, music is a utility, and I think that is 100% true, and I truly believe that. I also just think that utility should not be limited to like running, adverts, and soundtracking stuff, which is not necessarily just labeling you, but you know, like
whenever I'm making my adverts, I know I'm going for Bally Casino.
I'm still waiting for your Smiths version, like, but done on a piano with a quiet voice for your next Debenhams advert, or whatever it is. Is it Debenhams? Marks and Spencers? John Lewis.
And if a double-decker bus.
I was looking for a job. And I found a job. And heaven knows I'm miserable now. Buying the presents for the ones you love.
Let me get my hands on your mammary glands. Christmas. John Lewis.
Did I write that? So here's my one that I keep on thinking about, but I don't know where to express it. And I've realized that this podcast is the excellent place to dump everything that I don't know what to do with. So you're welcome. Eminem has just released new music, right? And Eminem's talent, his skill at rapping is like objectively very good. But he makes, to me, he is basically the same as like guitarists that only shred. And so like the talent is good, but the music is completely unlistenable. Like, have you ever heard the music of like Yngwie Malmsteen or like album tracks by like Steve Vai or Joe Satriani, or people who are just like, and then like people,
and then when they're done with my life, they play guitar.
Fuck it, let's leave it there. That's all I need to say. Is this enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare. Welcome to episode 33 of Is This Enough? The really brilliant game show that's both brilliant and excellent. 33 was the age that Jesus died for all of our sins. Isn't that right, non-practicing Jewish person?
We'll get him next time!
James doesn't practice Judaism. They just get on with it. We've made up 3 rounds with each other.
One and done. One and done Donahue, they call me.
We've made up 3 rounds for each other, and neither of us knows what the other has prepared for each other along the way. We shall have some prizes and some forfeits. If you win, you get prizes, and if you lose, you get forfeits. With me, as ever, is comedian, actor, painter, and practicing brain surgeon, James O'Donoghue.
Not just one and done. I need a lot of practice for that one.
James, it's Mental Wealth Week here. Is this enough? Who's your favourite billionaire?
I would say by taste alone, I'm going to say Zuckerberg. I think he's chewy but rewarding.
James has been looking billionaires, apparently.
With my
James, of course.
Billionaire bib on. The oversized knife and fork.
A billionaire.
Donde esta
James.
la biblioteca?
Oh, God. We'll get into it, but I went to France and hung out with my girlfriend's international family. Her aunt is from Germany, and my entire brain was like, I should have studied in French and German more. I should have studied in French and German more. And I was like, actually, no, if I did, all I'd be able to say to her family is, where is the library and the disco? That's all I would not be able to say. Anyway, James, of course, this week's guest source is Sriracha, replacing last week's guest source, Tzatziki. Last week, James won and received the red pill, which means they got to wake up from the Matrix. How are you getting on with that?
I mean, I'm enjoying having the shaved head and the big Zion orgies. I'm enjoying saying the word Zion without the political ramifications.
I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, I'm a Zionist. I just want to have a big orgy and fight some robots.
Yeah, but I'm a Matrix Zionist. How is being a vegan but having a big long leather jacket going?
It's very stinky. Those are stinky at the best.
And how's having the leather jacket?
Hey! No, seriously, something they don't say is like I do fart more since going vegan, and I've just come to live with that now.
Last week I lost and I received the brown pill, which made me shit myself. I am in the market for a new sofa. We hope you'll play along as you listen. Please let us know your scores, any round topic suggestions you have, and what you think next week's guest source should be. And please follow us at Is This Enough Pod on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. James, would you like to know this week's prizes and or forfeits?
David, I am positively champing at the bit.
Well, I just exited out of the thing. No,
hey!
Okay, I keep on doing that. James, if you win this week's exciting episode 33 of Is This Enough, you will win a Beano annual.
Oh!
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I used to get one of them every year for Christmas. James, if you lose this week's episode 33 of Is This Enough, you will receive a dandy anal suppository.
Oh. Well, as long as it's dandy.
It's desperate dandy.
Beef. Oh,
no. So 2 final things to ask. Do you think this will be enough?
David, sources close to the votes counter are saying that it will be enough.
And those sources
counter.
Gotcha.
They are.
And let's listen to the song.
Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife. Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife.
It's over to me for round 1.
Round 1.
James O'Donoghue. Round 1 is called Bendril Knowledge. Now, James sits in anticipation as to where this could go, because it could go in a number of different directions. Are these real yoga poses?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yoga? I hardly even know how I'm going to fold myself into these positions. Oh no, I'm 35 and I can't reach my toes or quiet my mind. Time to put on some snug-fitting clothes and learn how to breathe properly.
Yes.
Yoga is comprised of many different positions, but are these real yoga positions or positions from the Kama Sutra? That's right, James, we're going route 1. Route 1, it's 69 points a question. Are these yoga poses or poses from the Kama Sutra? Are you excited?
Back to basics.
James, have you ever done yoga?
Yeah, I enjoyed lockdown.
Have you done yoga with Adrienne? Have you ever been to a yoga class?
I not like a specifically yoga class, but there was a lot of yoga when I went to drama school, and
Oh,
the
really?
tiny Ukrainian woman that would get us into yogic poses would
Mm.
get us into these horrible poses, wait for us to start like basically abject screaming, and then she would go, "No, just sit and think about your life," and then she would leave the room, and I think it was just to laugh, and also to swear at us from behind the door. Probably that's what I'd have done.
We're just flicking you the V's.
Probably.
We
She was the
move
one.
into flicking the V's. Breathe in.
She was the one who would tell me that I'm a bendy boy.
Fantastic. I think I've mentioned this before, but I did a yoga beginner course, and the first 15 minutes of the first lesson was the yoga instructor explaining in quite in-depth detail what yoga wasn't, which was fantastic. Right. So, James, 69 points a question. Question number 1, yoga pose or Kama Sutra? Doggy.
Yoga.
Sorry, James, you clearly weren't listening in that class very well.
Oh
That is
no.
enforced. The Kama Sutra. Question number
Oh.
2, downward doggy.
That is from the Kama Sutra. From if you're in a submarine.
Correct. You've clearly not listened in yoga, but you have listened in Kama Sutra classes.
Yes, they were my
Question...
favorite class in drama school. I don't know how this is teaching me to act, but I'm here for the extra credits.
We're now going to do method. Let me
tell you, this was worth the deposit.
Question number 3, James. Is this a yoga pose or the Kama Sutra?
Sorry,
Fisting.
Before I answer that, I would just like to say the word Stanislavski. Fisting.
Fisting.
That's surely the Kama Sutra.
I'm sorry, you got to get that deep tissue when you're doing yoga. So there's nothing for you there. Question number 4. Seat wide straddle.
That's why I ended up needing yoga in the first place. I'm gonna say that's. I hope it's yoga.
I think you say hoga there.
It's hoga.
I hope it's yoga is a good Edinburgh title. It is indeed yoga. And question number 5, is this a yoga position or Kama Sutra? Midfield.
It's yoga. It's when you're so bendy that you are able to be in 2 different positions on the pitch at the same time.
I thought you were going to go for like a bend it like Beckham joke there.
That would have been good. The problem is I forgot what sport midfield is from and just tried to think of something that was vague enough to encompass. Most of them. It wouldn't have worked for... I don't think it would have worked for table tennis or tennis in general. But I think for most of the big ball sports, that's a bit of an evergreen answer. And that
Sorry, James, it was the Kama Sutra. Midfield is what all streakers are trying to achieve. James, at the end of that round, you have 207 points and an empty note. It's over to you for round 2.
David.
Yeah.
Round 2 is called Canadian or American. David, have you ever confused an American with a Canadian?
Yes, you can do the same thing. The most.
No. I love all of God's creatures.
Do you?
Nah. Crabs can fuck themselves.
But you love the Reform Party, so. Canadians and Americans, you can do the same thing with Australians and New Zealand people, and I
Yes.
did that 2 weeks ago.
Lovely.
They don't like it either way. Carry on.
So Canadians get upset when you mistake them for Americans, which is fair enough when you consider that I don't give a shit. Here's some celebrities. Tell me whether they're Canadian or American. Canada is, of course, a hold-off of the British Commonwealth, and as such, share a head of state with us. It must be odd for the Americans to look across the border and see the last outpost of a dead empire, a grim portent of things to come. The US would be lucky if that's what they were met with, if they ended up with healthcare and fascism, which is only nascent as opposed to full throttled and probably covered in radiation. I don't know what my point is here. I wish the Canadians would tip a bit more. Anyway, David, here are some celebrities, Canadian or American. All of this is worth 776 points. 1776.
Yeah.
So, David, is this a Canadian or American? Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Canadian.
Canadian, absolutely fantastic.
Thing.
Well done.
I've watched enough of Welcome to Wrexham that I should have really latched onto that information.
I was talking to some American tourists yesterday who said, "Yeah, we were doing a bit of a tour of the UK. We went to Wrexham." It's like, "Oh," and they went, "Yeah." And there was a slight hint of concern in their voices. Maybe you should visit an area not just because of a fun docuseries you saw. Maybe you should do some research first.
Dude,
Anyway,
if we went to Twin Peaks, we'd be doing the same thing.
yes, but next question, David. So Ryan Reynolds, absolutely Canadian. Michelle Ryan Reynolds from EastEnders.
Michelle Ryan Reynolds.
Michelle Ryan.
Oh, Michelle Ryan. From EastEnders.
American or Canadian?
I don't have a clue who that is. American?
American. Sadly, David, she is neither. She is Enfieldian. Next item.
I don't know what your version of... It's not quite Pride, but you love to shoehorn in Enfield. And I'm assuming it's where the shoehorn was invented.
I think it's when people caught the Black Death. That's the plague where you just lie. Yeah, I'm really ill. When people caught the Black Death, there was an impulse they had to run uninfected people and infect them. And I feel like that is something that I have inherited as someone from Enfield.
Okay.
So far I've had Ryan Reynolds, Michelle Ryan, a Reynolds McGann.
Just so everybody knows, I think James has had a stroke in between the past two shows.
Yes. Good luck.
I'm really impressed you didn't turn that into a wanking joke. I reckon you could have pulled it off. So...
I've had several wanks as well during the first round. That Kama Sutra stuff got me hot under the collar. David.
Canadian?
That was deeply unpleasant. I'm very sorry, David.
I was going to continue.
What did you say? There's a meddlesome energy in this podcast. I don't fully appreciate it, but I also know it is 100% down to me.
You're falling apart at the seams. I said Canadian for the Reynolds McGann.
And I said
kind of French.
Canarican in response with a question. And I'm going to give myself the points for that. Well done, James. 76 points right there for me. Thank you very much, James. David.
I have never looked forward to and been more scared of the next round. Okay.
David, even though you're wrong, I'm going to give you points. There we go.
Leave it in your points. Leave it in your points.
I've done it for both. Communism. David. Ryan Air.
Is that also? I thought that was Irish, but that might be EasyJet.
Well, David, because the amount of American tourists I've met, they're all fucking Irish, apparently. So I guess they're American.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take that. American. I like how I said I'll take that. Just give me the points.
Take that. I answered the question, and then
It's taken us 33 episodes for us to be like, I'm just going to give myself the points. You should probably give me the points there.
And then finally, Sleepy Joe Bryden Reynolds.
Is that like Rob Brydon's dad? I guess
Is Rob Brydon's dad, who is also president of the United States.
I just splashed water in my eyes. What has happened? I think this is the most we've fallen apart at the seams ever.
This is also the most we've fallen out. And as you can hear, we're still getting on famously.
Oh yeah. No, I really love James. American,
David, of course. Sleepy Joe Bryden is. Just realised that is Rob Brydon. I'm in a restaurant with Steve Coogan. I'm gonna have a.
welcome to Quick Fire Lives. That's what Donald Trump does. I don't know.
Here's my new Ministry Interior. It's Bob Mortimer. I can't do a Bob Mortimer impression on our podcast, which is once more a rip-off of Shooting Stars.
Yeah, I really remember that round in Shooting Stars where they fell out, and actually no, they did fall out a lot, and said words wrong. Oh no, they did. Oh, we're just a rip-off of Shooting Stars.
Anyway, David, at the end of that round, you are pulling in far ahead.
Baked potatoes.
We have our first celebrity guest. It's Matt Lucas. He has a song about other carbs you can eat. David, at the end of that round, you have 7,104 points. Well done, David. It appears that you are indeed in the lead. But might I ask, is there all to play for?
Yeah, there certainly is, yeah.
Oh, fucking sick then, mate.
Round 3.
Round 3 is called It's a Bloody Good Job I've Got Therapy in 45 minutes. Round 3 is called How Are You, James? James, I've never been more intrigued. How are you?
Well, David, I'm fine.
Round 4.
David, round 4 is How are you?
Just giving James a moment to pause to commit to the bit before I backtrack considerably and make sure my friend is okay. James just did the gesture of no, you fucking won't. Do you need some points for that round?
No, I've been amply generous with myself already.
Oh, how many points have you given yourself for the last round?
Given myself 1776 points, David.
No, that was for round 2. What about round 3? You're not giving yourself some points for that as well?
Yes, I shall. I'm giving myself 1776 points.
Again, so patriotic.
Wow.
I did want to keep it tight, but missing out an entire round is really just.
Let's go.
James, I went to France.
Hey!
We flew into Geneva Airport because my girlfriend's family.
Geneva?
In Switzerland. It
would be so much better for that joke is if it wasn't Geneva, but it was Geneva. Geneva? No, we're very happy together, thanks.
No, it was amicable. We're gone to amicable Switzerland.
We're going to the Amityville horror. There's a ghost, but we're getting on fine.
I still don't know how James is. Okay. My girlfriend's family lived just on the French side of the Swiss border, and so I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, James, but surprise, surprise, I've got ADHD. And the way my life is that my girlfriend asks me questions that I say yes to or no to and then forget what I said yes and no to.
Oh,
And she's got an international family, and so on having said yes or no, and to her
yes, and no.
a while ago, yeah, I basically got in a few vehicles without really thinking, and then suddenly I was just staring at like the Alps, going, "Oh, I'm in Switzerland.
That's a good thing to stare at."
Yeah." And then went into France, and I'd seen there was an itinerary, but it was in a WhatsApp group, and it got buried. And I asked what we were doing, and then my girlfriend's aunt said, "Oh, nothing. We'll go for a walk, and we'll eat some food, and you can play some card games." I came back rested.
That's the ideal David Hoare scenario.
Really, really, really good. And yeah, it was really nice. And I thought it was going to be a bit of like a social battery drain, because it was like me, my girlfriend, my girlfriend's brother, and mum flew out with us. We stayed at her aunt and uncle's house, and her cousin and her cousin's wife were staying there. So that's like 8 of us and a dog. And it turned out to just be really chill, delicious food. We watched a bit of Roland Garros tennis, and it was just nice. And I was able to like.
Isn't he the guy who's always on the hootenanny?
And how would Jules Holland introduce Roland Garros?
I'm sure he's going to knock this one out of the park. He's going Roland Garros. Roland Garros. How are we? Well, big year for tennis. Yeah, he's...
we. And I even like, so on the way to the airport, it was made known to me that I looked at a thing that basically told me it was 54 days until the Fringe when I was on the way to go on holiday. And I was like, how dare you tell me I've not got much time left to get my Edinburgh show sorted, as I'm off on holiday and should be relaxing. And then I chatted to my girlfriend's family, who were like intrigued by what I do, but don't fully understand it or like care as much as like they could, which really like de-stressed me a lot, because it's in the same way that when I'm in Edinburgh, I don't stay with people who are comedians. And therefore I can be like, I just met such and such, or like, I've got booked for this, or what have you. And they're like, what's that? And after a while, it's like, okay, you're right.
I think we both have partners who similarly are supportive of what we do. But when we do a gig with someone big, or we bump into someone, or we meet someone and make good inroads or perform at the venue, we both have the thing of, and I get a similar thing with my girlfriend with running, of like, I did this. Oh, wow. Woo, look at that. Hey?
Yeah. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it made me kind of go, oh, actually, I put too much like stress into trying to make this good and not into enjoyable. So I sort of just made a decision to be like, because I was basically looking at damage limitation for like the rest of June and July as to like how I can go arrive at Edinburgh with like my dignity still intact, rather than how can I make this enjoyable. So I've just basically gone like, okay, rather than like how am I looking at this show that I can get through it, it's like I'm just going to try and make this show as enjoyable as enjoyable as possible to perform. Hill Street Theatre, 2:15 p.m. 2nd to the 25th of August. Plug. The show's called 1000% Musical Comedy from David Hoare. Please come along. I am looking forward to performing the show, because I've torn out a bunch of stuff that I wasn't sure about, and I ended up writing down like loads of dumb ideas in France without really like thinking about it. And then when I got to Chops we came back on the Monday, and on the following Tuesday, I opened up my phone and I had so much bullshit in there, and some of it was god awful, but some of it really fucking worked. So I kind of went to France stressed and came back like really fucking like ready to do the next bit, which is exciting. So it's like very exciting. And so yeah, I've got some previews coming up in Swindon, Sam Michael, on July 3rd, day before James's birthday, America's birthday, and the Vert. Chippenham Comedy Festival, July 7th. I've got 2 in Cheltenham. We've got one on the 12th of July and one on the 25th. And a place called London.
Sounds like a real dump.
The 21st of July, So Far So Funny preview. And there's another person on the bill.
Oh, bloody hell. It's
Leslie
only...
Gold.
Yeah! Leslie Gold, come for David Hoare, and also to hear Leslie Gold say the word dogs. He's from Jersey. He's from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And her accent comes out
wonderful.
specifically, and the accent comes out specifically for the word dogs. It's like, yeah, I was looking at the dogs. Have you seen those dogs they've got? I just flew in.
She just got a job at Battersea, so
and boy, her arm's tired from petting all the dogs.
So yeah, please go up to the previews. Oh, and Chops Comedy on the 30th of July, and on the 31st of July, I travel up to Edinburgh to go do it. The other really exciting news is last year for John Hastings, fabulous Canadian comedian on brand for this episode. He had a show last. Yeah, John Hastings is so good.
No,
he
John,
had a show.
John Hastings, fabulous Canadian comedian. What?
Too many middle names, if you ask me. He had a show last year at Edinburgh called The Times They Are John Hastings, and he got me to record the brief was rocking version of The Times They Are Changing, but change the words to The Times They Are John Hastings. And then I got to do a guitar solo, and he used it as his walk-on music, and I was like, that's kind of fun. And people went to go see the show, and I was like, I did the music for that. Cut to this Saturday that's just gone, and John Hastings has put out a special on YouTube, which is the show, and has used that same music on the special. So there's a short sting of it at the beginning, but basically the special finishes with him like crushing a joke and then walking off being like, thank you very much. And then Muggins over here comes back in being like, the times they are John Hastings. And then James, my youth I spent wanting to be a professional guitarist, and I do get paid to play guitar, but for like 5 seconds of a song, not to like be widdly on a guitar. But watching my friend's special, and then it ends, and then it's just me shredding my balls off, and I was like really proud of John, but also really proud of like my 16-year-old self for like practicing guitar so much back then. So some of the muscle memory still there. So please go watch John's special and then listen for my whittles, I guess.
Well, David, I'm delighted for you as a friend, but I'm furious at you as a representative of the Bob Dylan estate.
It's a parody. It comes under parody laws. Thank you very much.
Shit, that's fair use.
Or I can't do a Bob Dylan impression. Can you?
It's for fair use.
Sorry, I forgot. What did I do?
Do you want Bob Dylan like at height of Dylan, or Bob Dylan confused and live on stage now?
Both.
So height of like Bob Dylan in the 60s, going, yeah, it's fair use. And then on stage goes, he's amazing at Mongolian throat singing. I was
going to say, either he needs a laxative or somebody needs to get that didgeridoo out of him.
Or someone needs to bloody update to fucking Wi-Fi. Get this guy on some fiber optics.
The Times They Are a Modem. His favourite album, Modem Times. Okay, give me some scores and let's get on with life.
I feel like my Hastings, hastiness, due to poor mental health has meant that you've felt a need to fast forward. You don't. You've got
well, no, I do need.
Time
we
in
need
the world.
To be done in about 20 minutes.
No, we do need to be. We do need to rock it too, David. At the end of that round, you get.
Your poor mental health has meant I might be able to make it to therapy on time. And then
David,
you're like, hang on a minute, my poor mental health, we can slow down. And I'm like, no, we fucking can't.
At the end of that round, you get 1777 points.
Thanks.
A true patriot. These are indeed the Patriot Games.
Round 5.
James, round 5 is called To Catch a Phrase.
Oh, great.
Making such a brilliant and coherent round. Celebrities sometimes use catchphrases as part of their brand to help remain in people's memories. And so they know what they'll be yelled at in the streets when they're trying to get to the off license. Famous examples of this include John McEnroe's "You cannot be serious" and James O'Brien's "You can in fact be serious."
Someone pointed out to me that Nigel, it was actually the aforementioned Sam Michael, pointed out that Nigel Farage's catchphrase is, well, I've been saying this all along, or something like that. I've been saying this for years. Now, look back, I've been saying this. How would I be saying this? He's very
Nigel
hot
Farage and the ilk of his kind. Basically, if you say something that, like, if they've just been speaking and then the person who's like there on the other side of the balance says anything about what they've done, their immediate response is that the best you can come up with? Which is they just know that they're going to get attacked. And it's really funny to watch them be like, is that the best you can come up with? And it's like, anyway.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Is that the best you can come up with? But James, who do these famous celebrity catchphrases belong to? This is for 1,986 points a question, because 1986 was the year that catchphrase started. I fucking love catchphrase.
Wow.
Yeah. So, James, are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Then let us begin. James, which famous celebrity is this catchphrase belong to?
Welcome to Curry's. How can I help you today?
Welcome to Curry's. How can I help you today? It's Tim Curry ushering people into his home.
Correct. That is 1,986 points. James, question number 2. Which celebrity does this catchphrase belong to?
Welcome to Greg's. How can I help you today?
Is that Greg Davis ushering people into... No.
I'm sorry, no, that's what my girlfriend guessed as well.
Is that Tamsin Gregg ushering people into her home?
Wow, you went from like not correct to pretty rogue quite quickly, which I guess is quite in spirit of this podcast.
Yeah.
But no,
that's
James,
our subtitle and mission statement.
No, James, it was Greg Wallace. I'm very, very sorry.
Oh.
James, question number 3. Whose catchphrase is this?
Welcome to PC World. How can I help you today?
PC World. So you get someone laughed at the end of that. Somebody was very brilliant. I should tell you that for free. Versus PC World. PC. You know who it is? It's Police Constable Abeline, the man in charge of the Jack the Ripper investigation. He's welcoming people into Whitechapel.
Somebody does tours. No, James, it is, of course, Jeremy Corbyn. This next one.
Bloody hell.
Part of the PC woke brigade, isn't he?
Jeez, dodged the bullet there. Tell you what,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that for free.
James, which famous celebrity does this catchphrase belong to?
Welcome to Ryman's. How can I help you today?
Is it Michelle Ryman?
No, but you're close. You're very close.
Ryman's. Who's Ryman? Ryman. Someone Ryman. Rhyme man. A rhyming man. It's Eminem. It's Eminem's world. It's Eminem's world on Leicester Square.
I'm sorry, James.
Lock it in, David!
No, James, that catchphrase belongs to Ryman Reynolds. So...
No! I should point out to the audience, just in case the audio difference isn't clear enough. David pre-recorded all of these, so that was genuine divine providence. That was a genuine bit of coincidence that I fucking squandered.
Yeah, you gave yourself a clue, and I was like, oh. James, question number 5, your final one. Who does this catchphrase belong to?
Who are you gonna call?
Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Buster Keaton.
Is that your final answer? You locking it in?
David, hold on. Let's get in my mind palace for this. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? Call Kirsty McCall. It's Kirsty McCall? No. Phone. Phone call. Phone. Alcaphone. Alcaphone. Phone. I'm close to the phone. Phones for you. Is it the Irish comedian that used to do the adverts for Phones for You? No.
I'm going to let you try one more time in your mind palace. He's Cumberbatching.
God, if only Stephen Moffat had written this, it'd be too bloody complicated for words. Tell you that for free. Anyway, a bit sexist as well. I'll tell you that. Come on. I'm just congratulating myself and sucking myself off. Phone, call, telephone, Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas.
I mean, there are some Telly Savalas films I like. But no, James, it was, of course, the blue phone from the Lombard Direct adverts.
I should have gone for an actual famous phone that I would have
Just
seen.
as you're about to pick him up, he goes, who are you going to call? Catchphrase, isn't it?
I should have remembered to my childminder's house who had Sky because her kids had left and she didn't have expenses to pay for them.
I would associate Lombard Direct with like pure Channel 5. Because much like a certain unnamed low-earning prime minister, I didn't have Sky as a child. So
it's quite a grainy memory I've got. Not that my memory is grainy. I think I remember seeing an advert on it.
High.
The pixels went high, and I think I had a video, and you'd like record
off the telly,
straight off the telly. I think I had one of them, and it
was a Groundhog Day because that was always on Channel 5.
It wasn't Groundhog Day.
Or was it The Matrix? That was always on Channel 5.
Oh no, what was it? It might have been like one of the Disney sequels. It might have been like Simba's Pride.
Simba's Pride, yeah.
Or Hunchback 2. The Chiropractor's Revenge.
Okay. Any more Disney sequels in you there?
100 Dalmatians. They lost one of them. It's very sad.
James, at the end of that round, you got 5,745 points. I don't really like that you wouldn't tell me how you were mentally, but you're willing to giggle at a dead dog. It's over to you.
Round 6.
Well, David, luckily, as we butt heads once more, this has been a furious episode. I've got to tell
I'm
you.
beavising right now.
Nish is in the room. He's asking if I'm all right. I'm fine, Nish, but thanks for caring. That's communism. David, I'm off, but luckily we've got a very exciting guest for this next round. So, and he's eager to see you. Here he is now. Hello, David. It's me. Now, before I start, I just wanted to say that this show is absolutely Craig Mazing. And I should know. Craig Mazing, pleased to meet you.
Hello, Craig. Mr. Amazing. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Oh, David, please call me Craig Mazing. I am the showrunner of two absolutely Craig-mazing shows. Chernobyl, which asked the question, what if radiation melted your face? And The Last of Us, which asked the question, what if there were no zombies in your zombie show? 8 whole episodes of The Real Monsters Are Humans. Fucking fantastic. Absolutely Craig-mazing. In fact, me and my business partner, Fran Dabby Dozy, have compiled a list of people and things, and I want you to tell me if they are Craig-mazing or not. This is a quick fire round, as in, if you're not quick, you will get fired, and you'll have a visit from my friend, Stewman Resources. No, but seriously, keep it tight. There's fucking loads of these.
My face hurts.
Each correct answer is, of course, worth 1,778 points. So, David.
Yeah.
Quick fires, fingers on buzzers. We don't have buzzers. Fingers where I could fucking see them. I'll tell you that for free. David, are these Craig-mazing? Hops.
Can I get? Do you mean the thing used to make beer, or
Yes.
the thing which you do with your leg?
No, not a fucking verb.
Sorry. Hops are Craig-mazing. Yeah,
They're absolutely Craig-mazing. That is one correct answer. David, barley.
Oh, barley is absolutely Craig-mazing. I love fruit and barley.
I'm sorry,
squash.
David. I cannot give you that point. That is, of course, not Craig-mazing. David, the works of Nigel Planer.
I only know Nigel Planer as a as an audiobook narrator, I guess, other than the young ones. So yeah, absolutely Craig-mazing.
Absolutely, he is Craig-mazing. That's 2 correct points. David, the works of Nigel Farage.
The opposite of Craig-mazing.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. I do believe he is Craig-mazing. I'm quite racist. David, Chops Comedy.
Craig-mazing.
Absolutely Craig-mazing. Chops Tragedy.
Also Craig-mazing.
Oh, I can't give you that point. It's a fucking horror show. Don't know why they do it week on week. Makes me fucking sick. Chips Comedy.
Craig-mazing.
Absolutely Craig-mazing. And Comedy Clips.
A certain Mike Wozniak was on a podcast recently and mentioned Chops Comedy in terms of like a place he loves to come and try out new material, but he did refer to it as Comedy Chops. And I was both like really uplifted and felt devastated at the same time.
I'm going to take him off my list of Craig-mazing people.
Please keep him on.
Put him on my list of absolute shit houses.
Lovely little name drop by me there. Craig-mazing.
Oh, I'm afraid Comedy Chips is not Craig-mazing. It's just a big packet of chips and they're all in the shapes of dicks. The smell of a fresh baguette.
Oh, one of the best things ever. Absolutely Craig-mazing.
Absolutely. You're on 5 correct answers so far. The smell of a felched bagpipe.
Not Craig-mazing.
Oh, absolutely not Craig-mazing. What's a horror show? Smack.
Craig-mazing?
Not Craig-mazing. Crack.
Craig-mazing?
Absolutely not Craig-mazing, David. And Crunch.
Oh, Craig-mazing.
Absolutely Craig-mazing. It's my favourite of the opiates. David. David, final answer. Your mum.
I guess absolutely Craig-mazing, Craig.
Absolutely Craig-mazing. I am, of course, your lecherous uncle who's now married to your mum, and you're planning to kill me because you are Hamlet. What a twist. I am very clever. Well, David, that was indeed Craig-mazing. Well done. You'll soon be in touch with my agent, Bob's a good un. Had to read that one. Well, David, Bob Iger, is
Bye-bye.
someone I am ambivalent on, but I hope he will get me some work soon. So, David, with all that said, goodbye. I will now hand you over to your other podcast host, who is, of course,
Craig Mazing.
no, he's sorry, on course 3. He's having a full meal. Absolute rip roaring, that guy. That being said, what the fuck is shit? Let's do some quick maths. No.
James, whilst you work out what Craig Mazing was trying to do with maths there, it's over to the results. James, have you finished the maths that Craig Mazing left you?
David, I have finished Craig Mazing's maths challenge.
So like Carol Vorderman's like GCSE bite size or whatever.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I remember them.
Or was it even SATs or whatever? And then
There
like
was also
maths.
there was Mark Steele's BBC History bite size for the GCSE curriculum.
Also, there was the TV shows, but Carol Vorderman had like a video game CD-ROM that you'd put in your computer, and it would teach you like SATs level maths.
I remember a CD-ROM. CD-ROMs were great. Why did we get rid of ROM? I know why. Because they were named after Rommel.
Yeah. Creepy, dangerous Rommel. James, at the end of that round, and in fact the show, seamless, I have won with a staggering 21,327, and you have lost with a respectable 5,745, which means that I shall be receiving a Beano annual, and you will be receiving a Dandy anal suppository.
Have you ever had an anal suppository?
No, I've had a rectal exam. Hear more about that in my Edinburgh show. Spoilers. It's not called Spoilers. That's Stu Goldsmith's show. Which you got a finger up the ass by Greta Thunberg. It's about climate change. The joke, which I think I told you and you said is great and landed really well like 3 times, but not so well a bunch of times, is when I did get a rectal exam. I was just saying that it was up there just long enough for me to go, oh, I see.
It's a really good joke.
When it lands, it really fucking lands, and when it doesn't, it's like it's like it's not even a joke. Do you have any jokes like that in your set where you're like,
yeah, I just do a straight up monologue from Macbeth, and it's part of a joke that it's a high stakes gambit, and when it pays off, and when it doesn't, it is performance art.
Oh no.
We've all had gigs like that.
Certainly. Come see my Edinburgh show. Hopefully that won't happen. The 25th of August at Hill Street Theatre in Newtown at 2:15 p.m. You can find me at David Hoare LOL on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. James, where can we find you?
David, if you want to find me, I am on TikTok as Let the James Begin, and on Instagram as Is That James O? You can also find me a wife. That is your challenge for this week. Email your wives into isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com, and I shall marry one of them.
You can find us at Is This Enough Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. You can email us at isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com. Please let us know any round topics that you want us to cover, any of your favorite rounds, what your scores were, and most importantly, what you think next week's guest source should be. James, do you think this has been enough?
David, on a semi-serious note, I have had quite a depressing day, but I'm feeling rather chipper now. So I think that's absolutely
great, amazing.
And let me tell you, someone else agrees. I'm not quick enough with the fingers. Those of you watching, I am being possessed. Oh, it's Craig Amazing. Those of you listening, you won't know that I couldn't be asked to swap over the cameras round.
It's Bob Iger from me.
And it's been under an hour. That's tight. That is absolutely tight.